actually have been very excited about this because there is a juicy amount of legendary combos. There's even Shadow Priest legendaries that are looking strong for Discipline. The build that I'm running right now is referred to, I don't know, Shadow World Pain build. When Shadow World Pain expires on a target, 5 allies within 30 yards of the target are healed for 3% of the maximum HP. So this actually also works when targets die. And this legendary has been really strong. Like really strong for raid testing. Extremely strong for raid testing. Again, we also have Mind Blast. Mind Blast has a cooldown. It does trigger Atonement. The only thing that is not being triggered right now is Shadow World Death. Shadow World Death is something that you should use when a person is 20% HP, when an enemy is 20% HP, because it's gonna deal extra damage. So I need to avoid stuff. I'm not really avoiding a lot of stuff. I got hit there. So let's use, we don't have Mind Blast. We're gonna have Mind Blast right now. We haven't used Holy Ascension yet. I don't think that actually deals any damage. You can actually kill the mob from here. So there is a decent amount of new abilities. You get Mind Blast, like I said, 14-second cooldown right now. Okay, the boss is still here. We're gonna go Shadow Fiend. We're gonna go Mind Blast. We're gonna go Shadow World Death. And the boss is dead. So, generally speaking, what do we have new? Mind Blast, 14-second cooldown. Works with Atonement, procs Atonement. Also preventing the next certain amount of damage dealt. Shadow World Death, 18-second cooldown, deals more damage if a person is 20%. So, somewhat limited. But you can also go Rapture build, which I don't know how strong it's going to be, but there's definitely a synergy with certain conjurants. So you have, during Rapture, Power or Shield costs 20% less mana and applies 6-second longer Atonement. And if you have a conjurant, you can increase Rapture's duration by 2 seconds, and its Power or Shield enhancement is increased by 10%. So there is certain synergy here. Not sure if it's going to be useful or not, but definitely it is boosting your Rapture. Another thing that I'm really excited, I'm probably going to do a video about this. Let me just do this first. So they're completely dead already. No need for a healer. So your Shadow Fiend or Mind Bender deals 20% extra damage, and Shadow Fiend damage, and the cooldown of Shadow Fiend and Mind Bender is reduced by 40%. So if you spec into Mind Bender, your Mind Bender cooldown is going to be 36 seconds from what I remember. What I meant about the Shadow Fiend or Mind Bender, it's an extremely short cooldown. It is a Shadow Priest legendary, and we're going to be testing it possibly on next video, I'm not sure yet. It is a Shadow Priest legendary. And you also have a conjurant. Shadow Fiend attack damage is increased by 20% and it deals 10% more damage. Again, that's Shadow Priest as well. But I've heard it works. I heard it actually works, and I heard this actually works for Discipline, so who knows, maybe, I don't know if Blizzard is gonna intend this, where Discipline Priest might actually end up using Shadow Priest legendaries and Shadow Priest conjurants, and they're going to be going for damage. It's going to be interesting. So the thing with Unholy Nova is that it's 1 minute cooldown. As I mentioned before, you can go somewhere close to a group of targets, apply a debuff that's going to heal people. So right now we're going to put Shadow World Pain on everything we can. We're gonna put Powered Radiance on as many people, so I have Atonements. We're gonna go and do Unholy Nova. Unholy Nova is going to heal people. It's going to apply a debuff. That debuff is going to heal people who hit that target. You have to remember, I don't actually have to hit this target to get healed, because it procs itself. So it actually procs itself because it deals damage to the target, and it is going to heal me if I need HPS or if I need healing. So it's really weird that it does that. I'm not sure if it's intended, but who knows. But generally speaking, it's at least it feels like a very solid ability for the time being. You get your Power Infusion for the target, increasing haste by 25%. You also get Mind Seer, which I haven't really done, but we can test it out as well. So you have a couple of new DPS abilities. You have Mind Blast, you have Shadow World Death, and you have Mind Seer that you can use. And on top of that, you have Power Infusion, which is going to give you an additional utility because you can use it on other allies as well. And there's a couple of conjuants that help out with the cooldown reduction and things like that if you use it on allies. So it'll be interesting to see if you're going to be, I don't know, who you're going to be using it on. Again, haste is pretty strong for discipline, or historically has been strong for discipline, so maybe you'll just use it on yourself. But so far Unholy Nova has been pretty interesting. The amount of healing, the amount of atonement, like I mentioned, if you use it on multiple targets are going to proc atonement healing. We put atonements on everybody. We put Shadow World Pain because we have the Shadow World Pain legendary. Unholy Nova, Solace, Shadow Fiend, Mind Blast. Couple of targets lost their atonement. I didn't refresh it in time. And that should do an insane amount of burst healing. You have to remember that I'm also getting healing from Unholy Nova is just doing so much. Look at the cauterizing shadows. So this is the legendary that when your Shadow World Pain expires or the enemy dies, it heals people around it. It is insanely strong. It is actually, there is like a combo of multiple legendaries that I feel could be really strong. So later down the line, I'm sure Blizzard is going to allow for multiple legendaries being used. Can you imagine using this legendary with the Shadow World Pain legendary and then combining it with the Shadow Fiend or Mindbender legendary that reduces Mindbender to like 36 seconds and the damage is increased by a crazy amount? That combo of two legendaries, I don't know, it sounds, at this point, it sounds very, very interesting. It looks very interesting. And again, you have to remember, there is also another conjuant that if you use Levitate, you go by 20% faster. I don't know if I actually equipped it, but this is really the key. So far, I've been having, as you can see from this video, I've been having a lot of fun. So let's use Schism for the extra damage, Mind Blast, then we're going to Smite, Penance. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people taking any damage here. I think this is mainly a single target. Okay, I think there's supposed... I got a debuff. And a tank got debuff, so we're gonna use... No one's gonna get hit here, but we're gonna use Radiance anyways. Unholy Ascension, right? Unholy Nova right now. Schism is coming back, the person died. I have a debuff. Mind Blast. Penance. I don't actually know exactly what this debuff does. I should move. Okay, you can't actually see it properly, the ground effects on this. At least I can't see it. Okay, I think it's gone. I think it was gone, but let's see what the damage was for that. Again, the DPS, I'm not really optimistic. The amount of damage that Unholy Transfusion did, the dot itself on a single target. Again, there's definitely better ways of optimizing Schism usage for me. I'm not sure what the best priority is going to be right now. In terms of the damage priority for Schism, are you going to want to include Mind Blast into it, or what the order of Mind Blast is going to be? That's also going to be interesting. I haven't really done a whole lot of testing with Mind Seer in AoE situations, so that's something that I want to do in the future as well. I haven't been using a lot of Power Infusion, but generally speaking, in terms of the new abilities that you get, I've been very happy with Unholy Nova so far. The way that it interacts, I'm not sure if it's going to change. Is it going to always proc atonement on the number of targets? Is it going to proc on itself? Like, at least the healing that it does to me, is it going to proc itself? I don't know how Blizzard is gonna approach this. We'll have to see it. But so far I definitely see multiple different legendary builds that could be interesting. So far I see that the AoE healing, at least with this Covenant, looks pretty interesting. The legendary, the Shadow World legendary, looks very cool as well. So there's only positives. So unfortunately I disconnected or had latency issues on the last boss and it was a bit of a mess. But I've liked, or I enjoyed Unholy Nova. I enjoyed the interaction. I would like to try out more different tests like Shadow Covenant, and I might do that next as well in the next video, because there has been few talent changes, there has been new buttons added, and in terms of the legendaries, I'm very excited about it. In terms of the healing that they provided, I'm very excited about it as well. You can see that the legendary for Shadow World Pain, when Shadow World Pain expires on a target or the target is dead, is insanely strong. My Unholy Nova usage throughout the dungeon was really bad because at the start of the dungeon I didn't use it at all because I was talking about it. Again, you have to remember that trying to talk through the dungeon about the new class and trying to heal and DPS in an optimal way can be pretty hard. So I didn't use it in a good way. So I feel like this could be even more healing. This could be even more healing and even more damage as well. So far I've been very excited about the prospect of certain covenants, certain conjuants, and definitely certain legendaries. It genuinely feels very strong for Discipline Priest at this given point.